I'm here with Rohini Dey of Vermillion Restaurant, and let's talk women. Welcome, Rohini.
Pleasure to be here, Pat.
So tell me first about Vermillion, because you've been in business for 21 years, which is an incredible amount of time in the restaurant business. And the menu has changed over the years, and you've changed the concept a little. So tell me how it's evolved over the years.
Yes, I like to think of myself as a pioneer, Pat. And the sole reason I'm in restaurants is to spell the gospel of Indian cuisine. Grew up in India in 14 different cities. My father was in the Air Force, so I've tried it all, go back every year. And Vermillion, when I started it, was a melding of Indian and Latin American cuisines. That's what we've done for 19 years. I still have our flagships. Some dishes like the tandoori skirt steak, lobster Portuguese, blackened tamarind ribs. My mouth waters when I think about it. It's also, last year I introduced Indian Chinese, which I'm so excited about because that's a huge cuisine in India that not many people know about.
Right.
But it's the favorite food of Indians after Indian. Much like Chinese is beloved here or Peru or so many other places, right? And the third thing that I've introduced is a street concept called the chaat bar. Chaat is our Indian street food, and I keep revolving that, childhood favorites. So it's a trifecta of my favorite facets of Indian food.
So can you sit at the bar and just have the chaat?
You can sit wherever you want and have just the chaat.
That's so cool. And so as the restaurant has evolved and you've seen the industry change, what kind of change do you want to see down the road, like in the near future?
Pat, you raise a really good question. In fact, we're hosting an event in Let's Talk Women. That's a topic we discuss all the time around what are our pet peeves around restaurants, what would we like to do better as owners and as consumers, because we all are compulsive diners outside, right?
Right.
One or two things that have resonated a lot across our group, and especially for me, is I find the whole hype around the morsels over finesse tweak tasting menus has gone out of control. Food needs to come back to a little bit more around substance and flavor. It's not about the ego of the chef. It is about the consumer. So you shouldn't have to go through a torturous, exhausting meal of 3 to 4 hours. And but the herd hype around that with media, and then it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, becomes a whole thing, right? So we'd love to get food back to real food, not the emperor has no clothes dining,
right?
Where you pay $400-500 for a meal and you go back home and you want to have another dinner for just comfort. A second thing that's very close to my heart is I would love to see all the undocumented immigrants who really are the backbone of our industry be legalized. They're amazing. We would not exist without them. In fact, I think, when we say that the restaurant industry is a 10% labor force of the U.S., that's a huge undercounter.
Fruit, right.
We are not including the undocumented, which wagers at least 50% of our workforce.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very law-abiding. They drive innovation. They love to pay their taxes. So, yeah, those are my two key issues to change.
Right. Well, they also...
What are yours?
Well, it isn't my place to say because I don't own a restaurant.
Yes, it is. What do you have perspective?
But I do see you really promoting women in the industry, and you've done so much through Let's Talk Women. So I think women have really been elevated in the industry in the last few years. So tell me about how Let's Talk Women has helped with that movement.
Let's Talk Women is our action movement to boost our businesses together. That's as simply as I can say it. It's by city. I started with Chicago, 20 of us. Now we are 15 cities, 900 of us, all women owners.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the ways that we help each other and amplify our presence is, one is just sharing our learning and resources with each other. And being an entrepreneur can be very lonely. The multitude of things that you do and you're figuring it out. And so to have each other's expertise is invaluable. And total honest candor. So we won't hype up a vendor if we don't think that they're the best. Second thing is we do events to jointly boost our top line, bottom line with amazing partners that we could not have done if we were single. So in Chicago, examples I'd give is we partner with World Business Chicago, with Shing Chicago, or the cultural department, or like Cisco, or so many other partners who come to us because we represent so many women owners, employers, tastemakers. Every dollar that we raise by way of sponsorship or revenue goes to our women owners. There's no holdback. And that's a huge renegade difference between Let's Talk Women and every other industry association and forum.
And so you hold events where they do like dine-arounds or tastings. You're doing one tonight. Is that correct?
So all kinds of things, from panels to dine-arounds to collaborations with the National Restaurant Show to this Let's Talk change around how can we make restaurants better.
Right.
And so it's not just top line, bottom line visibility, but media like you who've come to us because of our collaborative power.
Right. Now, you mentioned that one of your pet peeves is the finesse food.
Yeah, without flavor.
It seems like since the pandemic, people are really looking for experiences, but they're looking for more casualization too. So are you noticing that in the women that you work with and in your own restaurant?
Absolutely. I think you raise a really good point. The hospitality and the experience transforms the whole dining and makes it a repeat guest as opposed to pretentious stuffy. So I think the whole stereotype of fine dining needs to be turned on its head. I might be biased, but I happen to think that it's overly Eurocentric. The whole notion of, the individually plated dishes, that is not how 80% of the world dines.
Right.
We do family-style dining. So why do we have to conform to that for fine dining? Because it's Eurocentric. That's what we've been taught from France and Italy. Or the whole 7 forks here and 5 forks there and 3 glasses. It is all unnatural. So there's a little bit of a Stockholm syndrome in restaurants, whether it's around the whole wine service or the whole production of this or the maitre d', that needs to be revolutionized. That's what we'd like.
I think we're on our way, but
Loving.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been really fun to talk to you again.
Always a blast, Pat. You know what an admirer I am of yours.
So thank you. Feeling is mutual.